And as we mentioned, this will be President Obama's third State of the Union address, this time during the crucial election year. This morning, local Republican Congressman Bilbray is joining us on the phone from Washington, D.C., where he is gearing up for tonight's address. Congressman Bilbray, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Can you hear me?
Honored to be with you.
Let's talk about the address that's scheduled for tonight. We got a little video clip of what the president is expected to talk about. He's apparently going to be running on the theme America Built to Last, focusing on tax breaks to bring jobs back to the country, ideas for the troubled mortgage market, alternative energy plans. Let's just hear your thoughts going into tonight's speech.
Well, I hope that he is able to point out where we can cooperate for the next few months. But sadly, I think both sides are going to look at this more as an opportunity to make political speeches rather than reach out across the aisle and saying, look, we need to do more than just promise to spend more money. We need to change the way Washington operates. We got to make it legal for the private sector to create jobs. And but I'll tell you something, I'm very concerned after what I saw happen in December. And what happened last week, it seems like everybody's kicking into campaign mode rather than taking care of the business of the American people. And I think it's kind of crazy because I think if you want to do what's right from the political point of view, do what's right for in policy, do what's right for the American people, and the people will remember that. I think that the campaign slogans and the political pacts are going to backfire on everybody.
Let's talk about campaign mode for a second. Some say the debates and the bickering between the Republican presidential candidates are actually hurting the Republicans' chance to take over the White House in November. Your thoughts on that as we see television ads continue to run and the debates get sort of nasty at times?
Well, it would be messy, but that's how the process is supposed to work. And the fact is that I have no problem with candidates, engaging in politics back and forth. But what really bugs me is back here in Washington, watch those of us who are supposed to be representing the public and governing playing politics all along. And I guess that's the real frustration, and it happens on both sides. So, what you see during the debate, that's what America's supposed to be about. Let them take a couple of, let's just say, unfair shots every once in a while, but that doesn't affect the ability of the country to govern itself. You got to understand, today, we celebrate 1,000 days that the Senate has not passed a budget, when the law says that every year they're supposed to be passing it. 1,000 days without any kind of guideline of how we're supposed to be spending the public's money. That's the kind of politics that we should be worried most about, what's happening back here in Washington, especially in the Senate, which has done nothing while the House has passed 30 bills to create jobs. The Senate hasn't even considered a vote on one. That's where I think we should be the most upset, not what's going on during candidates' debate.
Well,
that's where they should be able to gauge.
We'll see if the president touches on that tonight. I'm going to switch gears here real quick. According to one report that I read, a lot of you folks will be in the audience there tonight, will be spending some time on your iPads tweeting during the address tonight. They say 400 members of Congress are now on Twitter. That's double who was on Twitter last year. Are you one of those folks, and will we be reading your tweets tonight?
Absolutely not during the speech. I think that's the most disrespectful thing we can do. Disagree with the president on his policies. You may not like how he plays his politics, Chicago gentleman who comes in here, but I totally think that we respect the president as the president while he's giving his speech. And I think we should be focusing on what he is saying. And I would be shocked if we see, at least on our side of the aisle, the speaker has said absolutely not. Turn off all of your electronic equipment. Give the president the total attention and respect he deserves. I'm going to be focusing on every word he says, and there'll be plenty of time after he gives his speech for us to tweet and to talk and all that. This is his time to deliver a speech to Congress and to the American people, and we owe it to the country to listen to what he's saying and not be messing around with our iPads or our BlackBerry.
You certainly have an excellent point there. Turn off those electronic devices. Republican Congressman Bilbray joining us on the phone from Washington, D.C. this morning. We'll check in with you after the president's address and hear what you have to say then. Thanks, Brian.
Thank you very much.
All right.